huh?
Yeah.
Oh, there's Adventure America. He's in here.
Who?
Okay, we're live.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. This is my special guest here, Donna Shalom on the Roam. And we're going to do an interview with her here in a second. I'll let you say howdy there, Shalom on the Roam.
Howdy. A good old howdy, even though I'm not in Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma. So.
Really? Well, aren't you originally from Oklahoma?
I am.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I say y'all and all that stuff.
Let's see.
I forgot, what part of Oklahoma are you from, John?
I'm right in the middle. I'm actually, well, it's Oklahoma City area, but I'm in Midwest City, so that's like what, 7 miles away or so.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly that. Had a lot of good friends.
I'm actually like north of Tinker, where if they practice the jets and stuff that taking off, they fly right over my house.
I was on our flight path too. I grew up in Moore.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah. You grew up in Tornado Alley.
I did.
Yeah.
Very so.
Yeah, it's kind of well, I was gonna say it's kind of funny to see that neighborhood anymore, but it's not really funny. It's sad, really. But you could tell the storm damage and stuff because you go to neighborhoods now and you see like a normal neighborhood built in the 70s or stuff, and then all of a sudden you see these big houses and stuff that have popped up, and those are the ones that have been repaired by the tornado money. So it's kind of weird looking.
Yeah,
but
funny though, the small core of the town, most of that has not been hit.
Yeah.
So,
and we've got hammered this year. For a couple of years there, I was just saying we're so lucky because they're all moving back east and stuff, and we're not getting the tornadoes. And now, oh my God, we got slammed hard, and they just go all around us. It seems like you're just like.
Yeah, I definitely had sleepless nights this tornado season. My son still lives in Oklahoma, and so it's like he would let me know that he's okay, and I'm like going, oh, thanks for letting me know. Now I got to stay up and worry until all the tornadoes are done.
Yeah. And who was it? I was following somebody that was out in Quartzsite and stuff, and they were driving back east, and they stopped in Oklahoma, and they somewhere like out by El Reno or something, and they had a tornado, sirens and all that, and they freaked out. They're like, what do we do? Oh my God, what do we do? And a lot of people don't realize, with those sirens, when they go off, you only have like 7 minutes to go take cover and stuff,
Well, actually, there's usually more of a warning now.
Yeah. Well, we have that, so.
Yeah. And when we were kids, definitely it was that quick. But
you get a little bit of time, but it definitely means go take cover right away, and but they were like freaking out at their campsite and like, should we leave this? I don't know. Let's go somewhere. But then they went to somewhere where it was a gas station. I go, well, that's no help. If a tornado really comes, it's going to take the gas station, everything away,
Well, people that are not familiar with it should not run because they don't know which direction to go. You and I probably know which direction to go and everything,
Yeah.
You're going to want to go preferably north and west if you can get over the top of the thing, Do
you remember the movie? You remember the movie Twisters and all that stuff? And now they're going to come out. I think it's the next couple of weeks. They're going to come out with Twisters 2.
Oh, really?
It's not like a part 2 or continuation. It's just a remake of the original. But last couple of weeks ago, my daughter took me and we went down exploring El Reno and stuff and rode the trolley and all that stuff. Well, they did. The trolley was featured in the new Twister movie. So I guess in the new one, it gets taken off and all this stuff. And then also where I live close to 23rd Street and down towards Choctaw. They built this one area. I think they built the hotel and motel and stuff that was in the movie too. So.
Okay. So they're filming a lot of it in the Oklahoma City area this year.
They did. Yeah. So that'd be kind of interesting just to go see that,
Yeah,
but I don't think it'll be as good as the original, though.
There is, right?
But anyway, let me see. I can't tell if we got anybody else in the chat here, but Adventure America, he's from Texas. Him and his wife, they do a lot of lives in the Texas. In the Padre Island area and stuff. Have you been camping down there?
I have not been. Well, yes, I have, but it was back in like 2003.
Hmm.
So
Well,
yeah.
you need to go now. Where you need to watch. You need to watch somebody like them, and they show you where they actually live down there by Fulton and stuff. So
Mm. Yeah, I
so.
think it's a place for the, to go in the wintertime in a way, but
Mhm.
in other ways, I don't like humidity and,
I don't either. That's why on my big trip I left in February. I left February the 19th. So
yeah. How long
that
were
was
you gone?
cool.
Was it a month?
I was gone for 40 something days.
Yeah, that's fine. Great.
But anyway, we're gonna ask Donna here a few questions. I got some questions here for her that I sat there and wrote. That's the first page. No, I'm just kidding. That's the whole thing. but um
Well,
but
hello
Donna said,
everybody, but I don't know who all's there.
yeah. Um well, they could watch it the replay also, like Dan Van and all that. I saw you guys did a video together where you were at Oliver Lee, weren't you? Was it Oliver Lee or another place? You were at
It
another place.
was Blue Water. Yeah,
Blue
my
Water.
video
Okay.
coming out probably in, I think, about a week or two.
Then he went to Oliver Lee, and I told him, "Man, you got to go to that. You got to go find that little oasis back there. If you follow that trail, the easy trail, the riparian trail they call it, and just
Yeah.
go all the way to the end, and just keep going. Jump over the fence and keep going. And there's like all these cool pools and stuff, and the
Huh?
water coming out of the rocks and stuff. It's beautiful, man.
Oh, yeah, I
But you
haven't
got,
been there. I don't think I'll
yeah,
make it there right
yeah.
away.
But it's a pretty cool place. So
Hmm.
Oliver Lee.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
okay. Ready for the first question?
Sure.
How did you get into this lifestyle? And I'm talking about, for all you people listening out there, the van life, and she's upgraded since to a RV. So how did you get into this?
This feels like a long story. Like I in 2003, I had heard of the term snowbirding, and I thought that was a cool thing. And I had some life circumstances that I decided in 2003 to sell everything I owned. I bought a fifth wheel, and my son and I went down to South Texas for the winter. And I knew I would. It was just a 6 month thing. I knew I was going to go back to Oklahoma to my,
Hmm.
regular life and back to work and all that kind of stuff. But after I did that, it never let go of me. And so I worked hard. I planned. I, saved. I did all kinds of stuff. And in 2017, I bought my van that I started my van life in. I didn't hit the road until 2019. But and the rest is history. I've been on the road ever since 2019.
Well, you went in with the bang then, and you got a fifth wheel right off the bat. That's huge, and to pull one of those things, you need one of those big pickups too, huh?
Mine
Not
was a
really.
small. It was
Oh,
a
a
small.
smaller one. Mhm.
Yeah, it was like I said. It was back in 2003. It didn't have any slides. It was like about 20 feet, um, and it was hard on my truck that I had at the time.
Yeah.
Uh, Having to get a transmission uh, rebuild after I got back, but it did last me through the 6 months, and so it was. And like I
And then
say, it was quite the experience, and it was something that I definitely fell in love with.
yeah. And then from there, you went to the road trek. Is it called road trek or something like that?
Well, I had a lot of campers. Even before my fifth wheel, I had
Uh-huh.
a pop-up camper. So
Yeah.
that was my was a pop-up. And I did a lot of research, and it just, um, everything that I could find at that time said that it was a lot easier to pull and turn and back up
Mhm.
and all that stuff in a fifth wheel. That's why I went with the fifth wheel. And then from that time that I had the fifth wheel, I went through one or two more pop-up campers. I had another fifth wheel. I had a scamp, which I had the scamp for the
Oh
longest.
yeah. Cool. Cool.
Yeah, I had my scamp up until I bought my road trek.
Was it the
And
tiny camp, the one without the restroom and all that stuff, or did it have the shower and everything in it?
it was an older one. It was a 16 foot, and it
Okay,
was
so yeah, so it was a longer one that had everything in it. Yeah.
didn't have everything in it. It was it had a closet that could have
Hmm.
been a bathroom, but it wasn't a bathroom. But
Okay.
like my porta potty in there,
Yeah.
and then I had it with storage. And I was still just a few weeks a year camper at that
Yeah.
time, but I
Yeah.
had that for 10 years, and I really loved it. But I had decided that whenever I went into full-time life, I wanted the ease of a van. I wanted to be able to get up and go,
Yeah.
and then it took me probably a couple of years looking till I found my road trek. It needed to be,
Because they're so desirable. Everybody wants those because they were a good idea when they came out. And I don't know what the latest model they made was, but anytime you see one of those on for sale anywhere, they're gone just like that.
yeah, the older ones were gold. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I really had a very difficult time letting that one go because
I
it
imagine, yeah.
the engine was great. I didn't have very much in the way of repairs. It got me into all kinds of fun places. That was the biggest hurdle with me letting it go was I'm not going to be able to just look over there and think, oh, I want to go down that dirty, dusty, bumpy road. I have to
Really?
think about it first. I have to, in this rig, I have to, see if it's really feasible for me to go down that road. But in my van, I went down all of them.
Yeah, that's for those out there listening. That's how I met Donna. Is I decided, what was it, a year ago, a little over a year ago. I said I'm going to go camping out on western Oklahoma. So I found this obscure little place where I figured nobody would be at, and I was pretty much right about that. But then I get out there and I'm looking at the places to go to camp out and stuff, and that far side, and I go, "There's a good place," and she had it, and I went, "Who's that?" But I didn't meet her till later on, and then found out she was on YouTube, and I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, and that was a cool place. I didn't know that I
Yeah.
could find a place in Oklahoma to camp.
Yeah, it's pretty decent and quiet, and I felt safe there. There was even a thunderstorm and stuff came through and all that, but there was nobody on that side with us staying on that side except that lady was here, but she wasn't a camper. She was more of a homeless person that she was just now figuring out how to, live out of her car and stuff. And she was telling me that she stayed like at Lake Hefner and stuff until they would come and tell her to move on and stuff. And I said, well, you could find different places like this place, that we were at. That's better for you,
Right, and you're not going to get the knock that way.
Yeah. That comes up to the second question. What is your preference? The free camping, like boondocking or stuff, or do you prefer a place with that you could do hookups, and pay a little bit for it? Personally, I like them both,
Well, I like free camping best. I like I like not being around so many people. Sorry, it was too hot inside. So hopefully I can get the lighting okay. So yeah, this summer is the first that I've been camping around people since I've been full time. Whenever I was younger and went camping with friends, we were always in campgrounds and stuff like state parks in Oklahoma. Sorry, I gotta get this. This is not pretty, but I gotta take care of Jazzy. Anyway.
Okay, let me say hello to these people. We got a big crowd now.
Yeah.
We got Mobile Tech in there. He redoes old trailers and stuff, and he has his own channel. Joanne, howdy. Steve, I think you know this person, Steve from Desert Adventures in Arizona. He says he knows you. He's close to that place where you went to that plane ride. And hello, Mayhem RV. Good to see you in here. And let's see who else. And that's it for now. Everybody's saying hi to you too. So
hi everybody. I know what you're saying, but
yeah. Maybe I bet you Dan's out there somewhere probably listening too, huh?
Perhaps. He'll chime in if he might be busy right now. But anyway, so yeah, I really do prefer boondocking. This summer I am taking advantage of the New Mexico state parks, and lighting got bad again. And so the air conditioning has been nice whenever I have electricity and it's really hot, but I really prefer just to be in cooler places.
Yeah, and I think the boondocking, where total boondocking, where it's dry camping, there's no restrooms and all that stuff, and there's no water facilities. Those are nice too. You get a lot of good, beautiful views and stuff. But sometimes you just gotta go somewhere where you can plug in and redo everything. Charge up your batteries and all that stuff. But and that's like a lot of people say BLM is supposed to be totally free and stuff. And it's not. Some of them are like they charge a small fee, and it's worth it. And that's one of the ones that I went to was Valley of the Fires, and they're like that. They're BLM, but by the time you get all your passes and stuff, discounts and stuff, it's only like $9, and you get power, you get water and electric, everything. So that's not bad.
Valley of Fire in Nevada?
No, New Mexico.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's over. It's north of the one we were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay. I'll find it.
It's nice, except it's nice, and it's a wide area. The only drawback there is that it might get windy at times, but when it's not windy, it's beautiful. So, okay. The third question: do you feel safe when you're on your travels?
Yeah,
always.
I do.
Okay.
There's only been one incident that I had that was a little bit unnerving for me. I was at a place in Washington, and it was a pretty out of the way place. I was at a kind of away from a lake, but around a lake. And a couple of young people, I think they were probably young, they pulled up in separate vehicles real quick into where I was camping. And it was nighttime, and they started yelling something, code blue or something. I don't know what code 9. I don't know what they were saying. But
they were messing with you.
They were, yeah, and I determined in my mind that that's what was happening. They were just trying to scare me and stuff, and so I just stayed put. And within 10 minutes, they were gone, and they didn't come back. And I stayed there for a few days after that. So again, it was it was a little unnerving, but I wasn't going to let it rattle me.
Don't let them scare you. And plus, I was going to say, since you got Jazzy now, then she's a lot of help too, because if you don't know her, Jazzy, that she could be pretty loud sounding inside there.
She at that time, she would now, but at that time she, but yeah, like I said, I just didn't let it get to me, and
really.
There. So yeah, no, I don't. I think you attract people with bad intentions if you expect people with bad intentions.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So
okay, yeah. Next question. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like I'm as safe on the road as I am in a sticks and bricks house.
Yeah, I don't. You can't be too safe anywhere, especially in some of these towns. So
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what is the biggest difference since you have moved into the RV as opposed to the van? I know a lot of it's the room. You have the room to stand up and all that now.
Yeah, in my van I could stand up, but the ceiling was right here. Okay. And so part of it was the showering is much easier in my new rig. In my van, I did have a heater, but I couldn't use it because the area under my bed is where the heater was at, and I had to use that for storage because I only had so much storage space. So I didn't really have the capability of using my heater in that. Getting in and out of the van was difficult. With it being such a small space, Jazzy would trip me up a lot, and it was just increasingly getting less safe. I felt like for me to be in the van, and so yeah, I just needed a little more space, and now I feel like I've got a castle.
Well, how big is this RV that you moved into? What is it, 35 feet or?
No, it's 38.
20 feet. It's a smaller one. I was just going to say, watch out, because you're going to start collecting more stuff and more junk, and since you have the extra space, you're going to want to get more things. So, but
I don't have. have
You can't do
space
that when you're
for,
traveling all the time, though.
yeah, I have more space for things. I just have a little more space for me and my dog. So,
Do you have
yeah,
solar
I've
panels on top or anything? Any?
got one. I need
Mm-hmm.
more. That's one of the things that's a difficulty right now is I do
Mm-hmm.
need at least I've got a 100 watt panel, and I would say
Mm-hmm.
I probably need an additional 200 watts. I
Yeah,
don't
you
need much.
need 200 or 300 up there to keep your. You mean for your refrigerator to keep it going and all that stuff? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's
Yeah, I
cool.
don't need a lot, but I need a little bit more. And during the summertime, even what I've got is okay, um, as long as it's not too hot. But yeah, during the winter, it's just not enough.
I think you need to leave a little space for your future kayak that you're going to get.
Definitely been something that
That
I
would be
wouldn't mind.
cool.
I
That'd
love
be cool to
kayak.
do that. Of course, they have the kind that you can blow up, the inflatable ones, but they're not the same. It'd be cool to have one you could just take off the top and go get in the water.
If I got one, I would have to have some way that I could mount it on the back because I
Yeah.
I I do have back problems, and I don't think that I would be able to do anything. Um,
Okay, you ready for
higher
the
than
next question? You ready for the next question? Uh-oh, are we lagging here? Okay, the next question.
yes.
What is some of the most unforgettable places that you've been? What's your favorite place that you've been? And I'll tell you the places you were at in Wyoming, those were really beautiful. I'm like, man, I'm going there now. Thanks a lot. You're making me go to Wyoming now.
Yeah. Yeah, last year surprised me. It really did up in Wyoming. I had been in Wyoming um, several years in a row, and I knew that there were some all right spots in Wyoming, but where I went last year, it was just blew me away. It really did. And
Uh-huh.
I miss being up in that direction. As far as a favorite, it's really hard for me to say. I do better with states, I guess. I'd say Idaho and Utah are two of my favorite states, and they're completely different.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Idaho is green and lush, and Utah is different colors of rock and mountains and all that kind of stuff. So it's hard to say, really.
But isn't there one place out there that you keep saying, I got to go back to that place? I got to go to that one.
No, not really, because there's so many
Okay.
that I left. Like I said, Wyoming last year. I'm missing it this year, being in New
Yeah,
Mexico,
yeah. Because the
and I'm
temperature
trying.
was just right up there, huh?
Well, at that time of the year, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I was there probably June, I think. And yeah, it wasn't hot like it is here. Even though, like I said, even though I'm at higher elevation, I think I'm about 6,500 feet right now, and it's been bearable the past few days, but it's gotten up into the 90s.
Wow. That's too
Yeah,
hot to be
I
traveling
agree.
around. Okay,
I
for the
agree.
next question, it'll be an easy one then. What is the worst place that you were at that you say, I'm never going back? It's got to be one. Well, maybe every place that you stayed has good and bad on it. So maybe you just don't want to
Probably.
say.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like one of them, like your favorite one, I was trying to think of one place that really stuck out in my mind, and I can't think of
Mhm.
the name of it. I mean, this is where if I would have had the questions before, I might have been
Yeah.
a little bit. I'm trying to. I've got my sister actually went there recently, and so I'm like going, maybe I should go and find that where she had been there.
Hmm.
But as far as bad, see, like even that thing that I told you about that lake that I was at up in Washington.
Hmm.
Um, I Even though I had a sort of bad experience, I loved it there. It was beautiful. It was,
Yeah.
there was a little lake. There was hardly anybody around. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would say most of them probably do have a lot of good and bad um, to them. I
That's
am
good.
tired of course. I will say that I'm tired of quartzsite.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say. There's the whole world out there besides just going to quartzsite, and I notice a lot of people like from Southern Cal and stuff. The only thing they want to do is go to quartzsite or Las Vegas. Well, geez, there's all kind of places in between. Lots of beautiful places.
Yeah, last
And,
year I spent only like probably this last winter season I was in quartzsite maybe 4 days I think total.
mm-hmm.
I spent more time in the Yuma area. I went to Borrego Springs, which I thought was really cool. I really liked the.
I went there too. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I was surprised.
Did you see the camping up there by the what was it called? Akatia Wells or something like that? Oh man, that's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like canyons on each side and stuff.
It was
beautiful stuff.
Thankfully, when I was there, I had a friend that loaned me and another girl her car, and so we were able to go do day trips all over the place too without having to move our rigs. So that was cool.
Okay, the next question.
The town that I was tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
We're going to go back.
Okay.
So one of my favorites that surprised me was a little place called Pariah, and it's like I think kind of in the Capitol Reef area of Utah.
Okay.
And the colors were just gorgeous. It was kind of like the Painted Desert, but better.
Yep.
So
that's right when you come into the state, isn't it? You come right in there. You have all those reefs and stuff there in that area.
In that area, yeah, it's like between
probably 30 or 40 miles from the border, I think.
Probably, yeah. It's somewhere between Kanab and Page, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
It's that bottom southern part of the state, somewhere.
Okay, for the next question, how do you pick your next destination? You just want to just go where you want to go, or just it depends on your friends, or
most of the time it's like, okay, this is all mostly spring, summer, and fall because during the wintertime I'm usually just wherever it's warm. But so I will kind of decide where I'm wanting to go. So like whenever I met you, I knew that I wanted to go to Devil's Tower. That was my main destination. I knew there were other places I was going to go, but that was kind of where I was shooting for, even though I was all the way in Oklahoma. So then I start looking for anything that's cool along the route going up there. I don't like interstates. I pick byways rather than highways. I've even traveled into probably about 3 different states on a dirt road that was really not well maintained. I'll kind of pick my destination and then find cool stuff to do along the way and find cool places to camp.
That's the way to do it. My next one's going to be up there in South Dakota, I think. I'm going to go through South Dakota and make a whole trip and go up to Devil's Tower also after that. Because there's a lot of stuff to see, and I want to stay at the Badlands and check that out for a while.
Yeah, I kind of bypassed the Badlands, and I wish I wouldn't have. But there's another time.
Yeah, that's right. That's the good thing about it, Let's see. The next question. We've pretty much talked about that already, but I was going to say, do you prefer, and not as a couple or anything, but just yourself, do you prefer to travel in a caravan or just alone by yourself, so you can make your own decisions to go? It just depends on where you're going, I guess, so.
Yeah, I would say mostly alone. I've definitely had some good trips with other people. Probably about 3 years ago, I spent the summer doing the West Coast with a couple of friends of mine. And I really enjoyed that. It was the mix of us. We traveled well together. All of our rigs were small enough that we didn't have too big of a problem finding places for everybody. So
there's times to do a caravan. Like I don't know if you know about them. They're called One Adventure at a Time. They live in a van, but they have that big dog, Labradoodle named Rudel. But they're pretty popular. But they went on a trip to Alaska, so I think there's like 5 or 6 of them that they got to caravan together and to go up that one big stretch, and something like that would help a lot, to definitely be a help.
But I think a lot of people try to put together a caravan of people that they don't really know how well they'll get along with them.
Yeah, and then, that's a problem,
Stop, hey, stop, that's enough. Stop.
Jazzy, what do you see, Jazzy?
Yeah, barking at something, for sure. It's like,
okay.
Blowing though.
The next question would be, what tips would you make sure that a newbie that's doing this lifestyle would have, starting out? Which ones would you make sure that they knew before they left?
Probably a big one would be research, but that would involve a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Having a lot of research, kind of know what you're getting into. Even taking trips. Here's one of my best ones. Take trips, find like gatherings of people. And this is something I did in the probably year and a half prior to me getting on the road. I took trips to little gatherings and got to know people and a lot of contact. And that was so, so helpful. And just be willing to kind of put yourself out there, even if you're a little bit of an introvert. Walk around at the. It's really easy to meet people at the gatherings because she wants to be the star.
She's a cutie pie. Look at her.
Because that's what people are there for. They're there to meet other people and stuff. And so, walk around to the different camps and get to know people. And get contact information, whether it's Facebook or
exactly, and always have a plan B. Have a plan B also in case something doesn't work out, So don't just be stuck out there, Because a lot of people, it seems they're really anxious to get out there and go out there and do all this stuff, and I'm not really that much of a pro, but you are, so.
I don't know about that, but I have been doing it. So, like definitely have an emergency fund, like set a plan B.
Exactly, yeah.
Whenever I'm going to new places that I've never been before, I don't find one place that might be a place I can camp. I usually will find 3 or 4 because you never know if they're going to have, especially the kind of camping I do. I don't make reservations generally. This summer I have some, but generally I don't have reservations. I don't know if it's really going to work out or not. I just got to try.
Okay, to the next question. There's only 2 more questions. So what is the one thing that you wish would be a lot better as far as van life and or RV life? The one thing that you wish would be a lot better.
Let me think on that. I've got to go in and plug up. I just now see that my tablet is just about out of juice. So, did you say now what could be better?
Yeah, just one thing that you could always, say, I wish they would have had this, so that would always be better for us van people or us RV people. Joanne said, "What a cute dog." Joanne, her dog's name is Jazzy, and she got along with Yuki real well when they met.
I would say maybe a little bit better network of boondock.
Network, yeah.
But the thing about that is that they're like the site that I used to use isn't very good anymore. But if people put the free places out there, then people go and they get crowded and then they get shut down.
Yeah.
So what do you do? I don't know the answer to that. I'm trying to find me.
I know this. I know when I was driving, when I left Quartzsite and went towards Las Vegas and stuff, I noticed on that one stretch of road there was a couple of gas stations and they built a Starbucks right there. So I think everybody went right there to get the service and go upload all their videos and stuff. I went, that's handy, you know, because Starbucks, everybody knows they have their web service there, you know. So
you say that's right in Quartzsite?
no, it's outside. It's going up towards the north, up there
Okay.
towards. I can't remember what I went on. I think was it 95 or something going north. I don't know. I don't remember.
It was probably Parker. It was probably in Parker.
Yeah, it's probably around Parker and them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask this one last question to you, and then I'm going to see if the chat will ask you a couple questions if you'll answer them. Okay. But the last question is, what are your plans for your channel on YouTube? Are you going to continue to do what you're doing and make us happy, or what?
I don't know about the making you happy, because I tend to just post videos of what I'm doing, and so
yeah, exactly. That's what I do. So.
Occasionally, I'll do a little bit of education or information, but most of the time, it's just my daily life. You know, it looks like it probably looks a little better than that, because mostly what I put up there is the exploring that I do. You know.
Well, I like what you used to say. This is where I live and stuff, you know. So that's pretty cool. This is where I live. This is my home, you know.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
I thought of that a year ago, and I thought, you know, why not say it? Because this is where I live, and that is what I know. It's like I really do live in beautiful surroundings, and it changes at least every 2 weeks, sometimes more frequently. Yeah. And it's not always a bed of roses, but a lot of times it really is quite nice, and I like it that way.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
let's see.
I enjoyed your trip this year. That was cool.
My trip, yeah, it was something else. It loaded my brain and my eyes and my brain full of all kind of material. I got to see so many things, you know. Woo.
Now I got a question for you. Are you ready to go full time?
Full time? No. I don't really want to be stuck in my van. You know, the van is nice to stay in, save on your hotel bills and stuff, but it's too cramped to sit there and, you know, if you got a dog and all that stuff, you know, it's nice for doing what I did on the trip, but, you know, to be really comfortable, you'd have to have something like you have, you know, at least, you know.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I did the van for, it was just over 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But
even you had a van that you could stand up though in, so that's you know, it had the high roof and all that, so that makes a big difference right there.
It absolutely, and you have to. Yeah, you were asking about, you know, things that people need to know. You have to know what you can tolerate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you know, like if like us, we have pets, so you know, if you take your pet, what are you going to expect? You know, a lot of things you can't. A lot of places you can't go nowhere where they have pets and stuff. A lot of the national parks, they don't allow the pets on trail, blah, 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 you know. So
yeah, I've had to learn a lot about, because I had never really had a pet before Jazz. And so I had a lot.
I do know that Carlsbad Cavern, they had a place where you could leave your pet, you know, they watch it and stuff, that, you know, and keep it cool and stuff instead of suffering wherever it's at, you know. But that's kind of neat. Well, if they really take care of it, you know, and it's inexpensive, that would be kind of.
That's another hint, though. I try to be where it's very comfortable, where I can actually leave her in my rig, because it's like a car. It doesn't get hot like a car. I've got windows, I've got fans, I've got all kinds of resources to keep her cool enough. And since I live here also, I know when it's cool enough for her. And I had somebody this winter in California tell a friend of mine, they saw her dog in her rig, and they said, "You can't leave dogs in cars." And I promptly looked at them and I said, "That's not a car. That's a home. That's where that dog lives." You know, It wasn't my dog. But and you know, then my friend, that it was her dog, she said yes, and it's climate controlled. You mind your own business, you know.
Yeah, there's too many people that if they see a dog or something in a car or a van or something, they just break the windows, get the dog, call the police. They want to right away save the dog and all that stuff, you know. But
right, and that is one
whole situation
thing
first.
Afraid of with Jazz. Yeah, I've been afraid of that with Jazzy. So I do, like you were talking about her barking and stuff. I've always tried to have her not bark when she has a crate. And so if she's in her crate, most of the time she will be quiet. And that's, I trained her that way on purpose.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't bring attention to my rig, basically.
Okay. Anybody in the chat have any questions for Donna here? Well, we have her here. There's Skunk 8 Mysteries, Dr. Shoddy, Angela, Mrs. Adventure, Joanne, and Adventure.
Which all of y'all, please do come check out my channel, subscribe.
Yeah, really.
Would one of stuff.
Can one of the mods? Let me see. Can one of the mods drop her link and put her link on there? Her link is Shalom on the Room, just like it's spelled up there. So.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of channels like mine with names like mine.
No, there's not. So if you search for yours, then you find it real easy. I know, like on this guy that's in the chat, he's called Adventure America. He's out of Texas in the. I've already said he's down there by the coast and stuff, but he's kind of hard to find. But you have to put the dot in his. He has Adventure.America. Then it'll come up real quick. But, you know.
Yeah, sometimes they're tricky like that. That's something else. If all of y'all that are watching, if you'll come over and comment on one of my videos so I can go and check out your channels, you know, I would love to get to know everybody.
That's right. Yeah. So somebody drop Shalom on the Room link there, and everybody go check it out. And then go comment on all her videos. You must have 1 million videos out by now, though, don't you? I know you quite a few. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know how many I have. But
there you go. You got one sub right now. Mrs. Adventure is Adventure America's wife, and she just subbed to you. So.
Yay. Cool. Yeah, I now have a lot of shorts. I've gotten where I do I typically have a long form video, usually on Sunday and Thursday, and then shorts on the other days. And my shorts are just kind of all over the place. They're from wherever I've been, you know. And that's fun, a lot of
and you know what? They actually do make money for you if you get a bunch of views on them. You know, it's half the amount as the other ones, but still it makes money. You know, it adds up. Yeah. Hey, there's Ray Crum. Hi, Ray. He's one of my newest subs right there. I saw him. He's from Ohio, and he was at a park somewhere, and he did his first live, and so I went in there and I helped him out and stuff. How you doing? He says, Roy is here having some dinner. Hello, everyone. Hello, John. Good to meet you. And thanks for stopping by the live there, Ray. But like I said, everybody go check out Shalom on the Roam. She has a bunch of good material, and all those places you're wondering about, you know, you'll sit there and you'll see her going to those places.
I have been to a lot of cool places. This summer has been, with me being in New Mexico, there's been just a lot of like Native American ruins and missions and pueblos. So it's largely been ruins. Oh, and new forts, like old forts. There's been a couple of those.
I like those, man. You need to go to that one in Arizona, that Fort Bowie.
Oh,
But if you go there, be prepared though, because they make you park at the trailhead. You park there, and then you got to hike 2.6 miles through the hills to get to the area. But it's beautiful. Wow. Yeah, and on the way you walk through, you'll come across the place where it's Apache Springs, where the water's coming out of the ground, and that's why everybody liked that place so much, because all that water.
Is it hot springs, cold springs?
No, it's just cold water coming out of the ground, but it's been running for God knows how long, you know. I think the Indians had it a long time, and then I think the U.S. probably took it over or whatever, you know. So
yeah.
But it's a pretty interesting place. They have even a little cemetery out there, and I didn't want to sit there, you know, just go through every headstone and all that. And I go, let me look through them all. The last one that I looked at the very last row was Geronimo's son. His son was like
wow.
two. Yeah, I went, oh my God, really? Because I went there, and just the day before I went to like that place where Geronimo surrendered and stuff. You know, I wanted to go document that and stuff. And that was pretty cool. And, you know, the government made that monument for him out there, but they don't promote it or nothing. It's just a place out there, and they say, in 2 more miles, there's a rest area on the left, you know, a covered rest area. They don't say it's the surrender of Geronimo, you know.
Yeah.
I think he deserved more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. You brought up cemeteries, and cemeteries can be pretty interesting places. I actually, even my first year out, it was actually during my first week out for full time, I camped at a cemetery.
Yeah, there's one guy in here on the chat, the Silent Forgotten. That's what he does. That's what all his channel is about. He goes and looks through he does that, and then he makes a lot of videos about the forgotten people in the old movies and stuff. That's pretty neat. So
That is neat. Yeah, I can't wait
to
anybody that comments. I can't wait to discover.
Oh, and I found in Hugo, Oklahoma, I don't know if you saw that one or not, but it's way down there close. It's close to like probably 30 miles from the border to Texas and stuff, but close to Paris, Texas. But they have the circus, animal circus. Whatchamacallit out there. It's pretty cool.
I knew what you were going to say. I'm very familiar with Hugo.
Yeah, cool. It was cool, man. It was amazing to see that and the whole story behind that. Oh, there's Dutchman from Arizona. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Dutchman, do you have any questions to ask Donna while she's on here still? And anybody? Come on. Okay. Here's a question for you from Mobile Tech. Mobile Tech is a guy that lives in Yerington, Nevada, and he does vintage trailers, redoes them and stuff. But he said, please ask Donna why she used Shalom in her name.
I've gotten asked that a lot. Shalom is a very meaningful word, but some of the most basic ones are like hello, goodbye, and peace. And so I've liked the word for a long time, and I knew that I was going out on a journey to find shalom, which is peace, and also share it. So,
and then when I was in Arizona, I saw a small town. I think you say it the same way, but they don't spell it. They didn't have an H in it. It's Shalom, Arizona, or something like that. Is it the same thing, right? It's the same meaning.
Yeah, I think the meaning is quite similar. Yes, I think it's more of an Arabic word instead of a Hebrew word.
You probably saw that town too because you went to the Casa Grande and all that too. So
yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it a few times. Yeah,
it was pretty cool. I didn't know that they weren't really getting mad or nothing. But me and Yuki were looking at the other parts, and then I heard some singing. The lady was singing in her native voice or whatever. And I went over there with the camera, and everybody looks at me and goes, "No, don't do that, don't do that." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Anytime you're on any kind of tribal land, you have to be very careful.
Okay, Ray Crum said I posted a question, but I don't see it anywhere. Ray, can you just type it in this chat right here, not underneath, not in on the YouTube one, but just type your question here. I thought that Casa Grande was pretty cool, and they catered to dogs too. They let dogs walk through there, so
Yeah,
I like.
I've been surprised with quite a few of the national monuments here in New Mexico. have not only allowed dogs, but a few of them even have what they call a Bark Ranger program. And
Uh-huh.
so you can get, a little, it's kind of like the Junior Ranger program. So, you can get them a little thing or
Okay.
something like one place, here, I'll show you. One place gave Jazzy this little handkerchief thing. Bark Ranger.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Bark
So,
Ranger.
yeah.
Okay, I went back up the list and I found the question that he asked. Ray asked, do you know of any state parks that let you use the senior pass with no fee? I'm not sure I understand that one. It was like if you mean the senior pass that gets
I
you
think
in
he's
all the
meaning, I think he's meaning the National Parks Pass.
national park pass, that gives you lots of stuff, in all these other places, they'll give you a discount and stuff, Not
But yeah,
everybody, but
you
some of them will. It's a good thing to ask for them.
yeah, Army Corps of Engineers will give you a discount
Hmm.
with that pass.
Yeah. And
BLM if they're B-
yeah, BLM gives you a discount, big discount on it. And then what else? Corps of Engineers, BLM, and not just the national parks, but the national monuments and stuff. The ones that just say national monument or national historic place. They honor them too. Most of them do. So
yeah, but
yeah,
as far as state parks, I really doubt that any of them honor it. But I don't
yeah.
know.
The state parks, they all want to get their own money. They want you to buy their pass. So
Right.
okay. So I hope we answered that for you, Ray. Joanne said it's hot and dry here. Mo says state parks are only offer half price with the senior pass. But I think Texas has a good state parks pass. They have like over 80 parks, in Texas, and I think
Their park
their cost is only like $80 for their pass, which is pretty good. But I think you have to pay one night, and then after that they give you a discount or something like that. But Texas state parks are pretty cool because you don't have to have a fishing license there. If they have a lake, you just go fishing. It's free.
Oh yeah, and that's I actually made extensive use of the Texas parks whenever I did the winter that I was
Mm-hmm.
telling you about. I don't think your guest heard it, but I spent one winter it was 2003, 2004 in South Texas for the winter, and I did use the state parks there. Their pass was
Mm-hmm.
different at that time, but yeah, I liked their parks. They're pretty nice.
Did you go to Terlingua or Terlingua? Is that how you say it? You didn't go down the Big Band area and stuff, or too hot? Was it? Or I want to go there like in January, February, so it won't be too hot. Check it
Yeah,
out.
I would like to look into going there, but that's something I would have to look into, and because I think that the camping, you pretty much have to reserve a campsite there because it's such a big park and everything. So
See, Angela, and they're the ones that live down there. She said that the state park pass pays for itself for us, because they use it so much. It's paid off already, so that's good. And I
yeah,
agree. There's a lot of places to go down there.
absolutely. Yeah, and like I said,
When
I think the Texas parks are uh, some of the nicer parks that I've been to.
Mobile Tech says also have the military pass. I think that's the same. That's the same thing, Mobile Tech. Only it's through the military that you get it. So it has the same thing.
And I think
Okay,
the
here.
military give you military passes will give you, I think, more discounts than most of the others.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool too because on the military bases around, they have their
Hmm.
own little campgrounds and stuff on the base that the other people can't access, and that's pretty neat. But
Right? Yeah,
Adventure
a lot of
America he answered, if you stay 2 nights, you get the second night half off. All day use is included in the annual pass, and 10% discount at park stores. So that's pretty good too. So anything you get any kind of discount is good, I think.
yeah, very helpful.
Yeah, I got mine when it was $10 also, Dutchman. They're up to $80 now. Us old
You,
folks get it. We had a chance to get them when they were $10.
you must be talking
Actually,
about your park pass for the national parks.
yeah, Yeah, I got it when it was $10, and I got impatient waiting for it. So I went to this other place and I got another one, and I paid $10 for that one. And then after I got that one, then the other one came in the mail. So I ended up with two. But yeah, I think they're worth it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. My mother and I used to go traveling a lot on her senior pass. And so I know what you're talking about. It's very nice to have that.
You know when you go to Death Valley, there's nobody. One of the main entrances, there's nobody there. It's all automated, and you got to go up and get your pass and all this stuff. So all these people are parked there. They're all pissed off because they're going, it's $30 to get in there. Blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking about, I don't need to do anything because I already have my thing. So I'm just going to get out of here and get away from these angry people, you know. But yeah, they were mad because they had to put in. You had to do it on their little machine there and pay $30 with the credit card, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I tend to.
Mexico is raising their park pass dramatically. They said, yeah, that we were talking about that earlier, and they are. It's up to $600 for out-of-state people. Too much, man.
Yeah, that's not set in stone yet, but that's the latest. Yeah.
Well, before wasn't it like $225 for out-of-state people like us? You know, that's all right if you plan to spend like a month or two in New Mexico and a lot of places to go to, you know, but not 600, you know.
Yeah, I don't think many people will do it. And one of my friends has really talked to one of the people that's been doing a lot of the research on all of this, and so she's talked to him extensively and let him know that, you know, out of the people that she knows that has used the New Mexico State Park pass, they're highly unlikely to buy it again at that rate.
Yeah. Well, when Deborah Dickinson and them go fishing and all that stuff, do they have to get a license too? You have to get a New Mexico a temporary license, right? See, so that's another thing you have to take into account, you know.
I think they just go ahead and get the annual license they have because they've been here. This is their third summer doing the New Mexico State Parks.
What they don't realize, the people passing those bills and stuff, is, you know, these people come here and they're spending money for food and all this stuff and those licenses and all that stuff also, you know. So they shouldn't jack it up that high, you know.
Right. And that's things we've brought up to the board that's, you know, doing the research and trying to come up with what they're trying to do. And the only reason that it's going so high is because they haven't raised their rates in many, many years.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I try to help them realize is that they just can't do it all at once. I mean, they can, but they're probably going to lose.
Yeah. 909 Adventures is in there. Hi there, Jeff. How you doing?
Howdy, howdy. Well, while you're looking at questions, I have to say, I think that your travels this past winter were pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty. I liked it. It was so much fun. I didn't want to come back. I really didn't want to come back. I didn't want to come back at all, and I didn't have to. But my bank called me when I was in Santa Barbara, California, and said, your card's been compromised, you know, my main card. And I'm going, no,
oh, yeah.
And, you know, and so I had to go back and take care of all that, because if you pay all your stuff online and stuff, then with the main card and stuff, you know, all that stuff starts backing up unless you take care of it. And I'm going, oh, yeah, so you're going to leave me out here in California with no money, huh? But luckily I knew a girl that worked at the bank, and she hooked me up, and they did a time frame where I could go to the nearest town and get all the money I wanted out of my account. So, you know, so I'd have enough. But still, it sucks, you know, that you're sitting there having so much fun, and all of a sudden you need to take care of this, you know.
Yeah, that's scary.
Really, man. It's just like, what if something bad happened or something, you know? And this was before I went to Anza Borrego or down to Southern California and all that stuff. I want to go see all the things I want to go see, you know. So I still did it anyway. So.
Good for you. Yeah. Well, you know, the bug really does you whenever you don't want to go home.
Yeah. Yep. Really. Well, I just found so many cool places like in Arizona to go to and go see and things to do, and I don't care what anybody says. I like camping out there by Pahrump also. It was kind of cool because it was so easy to get into town and get all your stuff and then go back up to your camp and stuff. And it's pretty neat.
Yeah, I
The whole
definitely I like camping outside of small towns where you can
Mhm,
get the stuff you need, but you're not
mhm.
right in the city because I don't like being in the city anymore. I hate being in cities now.
Yeah, it'd be yeah, you're right, But yeah, like I didn't want to go to Quartzsite when there's like tons of people there. So that's why I looked around and I got that, what do they call it? The state pass or the state thing where you could camp out. You can camp on the public lands and stuff. That's pretty good too. There's only
Oh,
what?
the state
Yeah,
trust land.
yeah,
Like,
state trust land pass. That's only like $20 for all year. That's pretty good too. So,
yeah, but you're supposed to only use it, I think it's 15 or 16 days in a calendar year.
oh, is it? Okay. Well, I just went to one. I just used it one time, so
Yeah.
I really didn't need to. Being in Quartzsite, you really don't need it, But I said, well, I'm gonna go. I want to go where I want to go, not where everybody's at. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you really don't hardly need it in Quartzsite. I mean, I think there is some state trust lands there in Quartzsite, but I've
mhm.
never camped on state trust lands there. I've used the
Yeah,
state trust land. I've bought it every year. And I've used it more around the Phoenix area.
the Phoenix area is that by like Saddle Mountain and all that stuff. Saddleback Mountain is that? I
Think
can't remember
so.
where that is. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
bunch of
I think
areas to go.
like in the Canyon area. So um
And
I
then
think
all that stuff. Oh, go ahead.
the first year I got it, I used it around Lake Havasu, but I think all those state trust lands are pretty well closed now.
I wanted to go to Craggy Wash also, but that's on the other side of town. You had to go all the way on the other side to get there, so I didn't end up not going there. But yeah,
It's really not that really close to Walmart, but um it's rough on your vehicle. It's not
yeah.
in yeah, it's not in great shape.
Well, the place I ended up staying is just a big old dust bowl anyway. It looked like a dust pit place where the four wheelers go and stuff, and a lot of
I know
dirt.
exactly. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
where you're talking about.
Well, for staying for one night, it was okay. I said, all right, it's okay. I'm not going to
Yeah,
complain about it.
right.
It's
Yeah,
cool that
I
they have those kind of places anyway.
yeah, yeah. And Lake Havasu is a cool little medium-sized town.
It's beautiful. They got everything you want or need, man. They got that one road. It takes you forever to drive through. It has everything, even casinos there. But
Yeah,
what other town has the London Bridge, all that pretty water and stuff, everything right
yeah.
there what you need. So I think they made that city just to get all the California people's money.
Californians have been going there for years and years and
Hmm.
years. I know
Yeah,
people that
that's
go
what
there when
that's
they
what
were.
they do.
Yeah, it's a big recreational area for Californians.
Yeah. Mobile Tech said, I have to go. I have a class to teach later. Oh, thanks, Mobile Tech, for stopping in.
See
He
you
has
later.
he runs the trailer, how to rebuild trailer class and you go through Patreon and buy, and it's a big class. I don't know how many hundreds of people are in it, but he does it every Tuesday night, and that's how he makes most of his money there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hmm.
Very.
Yeah, you should go look at his stuff sometime. It's just Mobile
I
Tech, and
have I've seen his channel. I have seen it, so yeah, I'll have to check
yeah,
it out again.
all the old trailers and stuff that he's doing. Yeah, amazing stuff.
Mhm.
Okay, so you guys don't have any questions for her, then I'm gonna let her go because I know she's just dying to get out of here now. So let's see.
I think we're doing good. I've been enjoying it.
Good. Good. I was afraid you're gonna get in here. I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna get out. like when I did this with Dan, the Dan van. I was sitting there
Yeah.
going, I know he probably has something to go do, so I'm gonna hurry up and get him out of here.
Okay.
And when it was over, he
Okay.
was like all relieved.
One thing about us nomadic people, there's a few of us that have a saying. I have all the time in the world.
Yeah, really.
Rushed like city folks, you know. We're yeah.
When I stayed in Quartzsite though, I got up real early because I was headed up to Pahrump and stuff, and I said, well, let me go look and see if I could go find the Dan Van's band. So I went over there to where he's staying in that area, and I was driving everywhere looking, but I didn't realize how big it was. It's huge. The place is huge, man. You know, you'd have to know exactly where he's at. You know,
there's a lot of places to camp around there.
Yeah, a lot of places. And if you're behind a bush or something, you're not going to be able to see it, you know? So, yeah.
Camped around
there, so I just kept texting him going, are you awake? Are you awake? And I think he answered me. This was like 7 in the morning or something. I think later on, about 10 or 11, he goes, yeah, why? I said, nothing. I just want to come by and say hello before I left. So
that's
that was
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is funny.
Dutchman said, Donna, thank you for being on the panel with John. Nice meeting you. That's a Dutchman. He lives in Arizona, but he knows everybody. He's on everybody's.
And I was going to say, John, you know, one of these days we need to camp together again, and I need to hear you playing some music while we're camped together around the campfire.
That would be cool. Yeah. We need to.
Yeah. You are a really good musician.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How about let's meet in Indian Bread Rocks. I love that place. Did you ever go there? Well, now you have to watch out because you might get stuck out there, huh? Because of the RV.
Yeah. I went out there before I was full time. I went to the van build in Arizona in 2017 or 18. I don't remember.
That guy that had the bus, is that the one that made it, put it on? Yeah, I think.
Jamie Don.
Yeah, Jamie.
Nomadic Fanatics. I think. No.
Silent Forgotten just said camp in Canada.
Fanatics. Enigmatic nomadics. But anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's it. Yeah.
I camped at
wonder what happened to him. Last I saw, he went back to the East Coast for something about, I don't know, an in-law's house or something, and they were going to fix it up or do something with it. And that's the last I saw of him.
That was several years ago, right?
Yeah. Well, he spent so much time on that bus, you know, that he loved that bus and all his stuff was in that, and then they couldn't get it fixed. And then, you know, so.
I know he's been back out. He was back out to Quartzsite area this past winter, so I didn't see him any this past winter, but he was there. So
yeah. You get to see everybody. You know everybody.
Well, that came. You know how I told you to go around campfires and meet people? That's why.
Yeah, that's why. Well, then you have the dog, so they all go, oh, look at the doggy! Come on over here. Well, I saw you somewhere else too. I mean, there they are. Look, I think it was a what's her name's birthday party, Aja's birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
I saw you there too. I went, oh, cool.
Yeah, that's kind of a standard thing.
It's an annual thing. She's doing a lot of work to that place now, man. She's putting a lot of time and stuff into it, but you know, she sure doesn't stay there very often though. It's either too hot or too cold.
She's there a lot more than you would think. She's there quite a lot of the time.
Yeah. And her neighbors are there to watch the place too. So I guess somebody stays there all the time to watch it. So.
Yeah, there's one couple that bought at the same time that Aja did, and they are there full time. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and they're right next door. So.
Okay, well I'm gonna let you get up here. This was fun, man. You know, I wanted to do this a long time ago, but you're kind of hard to catch at the right time. You're always so busy going here and there and there, and this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had some things back past me. It's been a whole lot of fun. I'm glad we finally got it done.
Really?
we'll have to do it sometime.
909 said, he said, John, I see you're getting close to 2,000 subscribers. Congratulations. Thank you, 909.
Yeah.
And thank you, chat, for coming in here. And sorry if I didn't pay attention to each and every one of you, but I try to do that usually. But when I'm interviewing somebody, it's hard to do both. So
very hard.
Thanks for coming in, though, everybody. That's pretty cool. I'm glad we got a good crowd out of this too. So
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, Donna. So thanks a lot for stopping in, and we'll catch you. Like they say, we'll catch you down the road sometime. So,
absolutely.
Okay.
Meet down less traveled.
Really.
All right. See you later, John.
Give your doggy a hug for me, and catch you later. I'm gonna end it right here. Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.
Bye. There we go.